on my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is on my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is on my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is on my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is on my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, mate.
That's the sound of a crisp ranch water. You ever felt the wind between your butt cheeks on a warm summer's day? That's what it's like to drink ranch water. Guts, glory, ranch water.
Hey, this is episode 102 of Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey. I'm Ted. This guy is not Wacey.
That's not Wacey.
That's Wacey. That's Wacey.
That's the one and only Brinson James.
Yeah.
Back in action.
Fan favorite. Back in the country.
I'm back to stay.
Yes, who's back?
You're here. He's here for a haul too. Hey, is that your longest amount of time in Canada? 5 weeks.
This is the longest amount of time I've ever left my home flying out of anywhere.
Really?
Yeah, I've driven, and spent a couple months gone with my house and my camper. But even when I went to Australia, we would only go for 3 weekends.
Really?
So these are 5. This is 5 weekends in a row.
No, it's 4 weekends in a row.
No, with Yorkton, this is 5.
Wait, so it's we just did Medicine Hat, Calgary, Saskatoon, Yorkton, Edmonton. 5 weekends. Damn, that's aggressive.
Son.
That's
so
so he's basically taken over your old roommate position at HQ, Brinson, for 5 weeks at HQ. So
5 weeks. So 5 weeks in Canada. What are the top 3 things you want to do while you're here? That does not include the PBR.
Not freeze my ass off.
Yeah, today was a nice day.
It was the most beautiful day I think I've ever had in Canada, but I think this is going to be the turning point of it. I hear that it's going to go south after this. It's going to come on down.
I haven't looked at the weather. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm just kind of letting it. I'm just going to let Raw Dog be when it shows up.
Okay, Brinson, talk about the ranch water, though. Is that your first experience of a ranch water?
It is, actually. I love it.
What do you think? Are you a fan?
Actually, I think maybe I tried it one time. Just had a little one there at Stampede. But
no, it wasn't a thing. It
wasn't a thing.
New.
It's new, man.
It's actually brewed.
That's what it is, and I haven't.
Some of it is branded and packaged at Hell's Basement Brewery in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, so before we go any further, thank you to our sponsors,
water.
Circle 4 Ranch Water, Circle 4 Beverages. They're awesome. Check them out. They're at anywhere, like most liquor stores, you can find them now in Alberta, especially. Yeah. I think they're in BC and Saskatchewan now. They're awesome. Circle4beveragecompany.ca.
Circle4beverages.com.
Ranchwater.ca. And also, we can't forget about our friends at Manscaped. They are the best in men's below the waist grooming. They offer precise engineered tools for your family jewels, and they'll keep your pumpkins looking mighty fine for this upcoming spooky season. You want to go be on a Halloween party and you round up a nice lady and you go back and you whip her out and it's scary down there. That's not kind of spooky season you want to have. But they just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, including Ted and I, with this exclusive offer from us to you, 20% off, free worldwide shipping with code HUGEBUSH at manscaped.com. So
love it.
Go and get your Manscapes.
You got a Manscaped?
Well, I'm thinking about being the don't mess with the Zohan for Halloween. So to get the bush right, I'm gonna have to have the Manscaped.
Gotta fix the bush.
Get the bush right.
Ladies love it, the bush.
That's an underrated Adam Sandler movie. I fucking like that one. That's good shit.
So our friend Brinson Harris here for quite the haul.
He's from Florida.
He's from Florida.
From Florida.
Have you spent more nights at this house in Canada than many other houses, or did you stay at BJ's more?
No. I've definitely, if I'm getting paid by them, I try not to stay at their house because then you're gonna get to put to work a little bit too much.
That's right. You got to be the gate bitch. Then.
That's smart, man. That's smart.
Yes. So
that's big brain time.
I actually think I have a couple other friends over there in Ontario that I've bebopped around, but I have drove my truck and trailer to there, so I've still stayed in my house. I haven't really stayed in there. So yeah, no, this is definitely HQ for from the Florida people as well.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, no, it's I've definitely got. I think I'm moving it on up though, because I'm upstairs now, Wace.
Oh, how about that?
Honestly, man, I prefer the downstairs there.
I think I might be moving downstairs but
Right.
this upstairs bed is absolutely
Nice.
so comfortable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
nice.
That's good. Yeah, that's the you got to go where the nice bed is. But I prefer the basement there because it stayed nice and cool. Didn't get too hot.
Basement. I remember the last time I was here and stayed at the HQ. We partied.
We had a big party day. That was so fun.
We had a great time.
We went to the rec room and we were doing shots and we had this crazy house party and playing Uno.
We came back and I was just loving life. We woke up the next morning, no idea where I was, but I was in Teddy's basement. No idea where I was. I totally forgot because I was scared because we only have one little small window in that basement, right?
Yeah.
And so I woke up and it was I was definitely a little scared. And
that's cool.
But no, it kind of got my roots together. And I think I actually had to take a shower and fly out a couple hours later.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that was a heavy night. I remember that night.
Was that after Calgary PBR or was that after Lethbridge?
I think it was after Lethbridge when we had the Sunday Fun Day.
Oh, that was when we did the pod? No, we didn't do the pod. That was a different time.
Yeah, we did do the podcast that day.
No, because that was in June. This one was in June.
Okay.
I was looking back. So for those that don't know, Brinson Harris, he's a guest of the show. How do I introduce you? You're the official entertainer of PBR Canada.
Definitely.
I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the PBR entertainers worldwide and do lots of big rodeos these days.
For sure.
Some new contracts coming in.
Calgary Stampede, you worked last time?
Calgary Stampede here. I'm shooting to have that all 10 days here in 2022. So it's going to be awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah. But Brinson from Micanopy, Florida is the address.
Yep.
Most of the times. Seminole Wind, based on your hometown.
Heck yeah. No.
Right?
That's a fucking banger of a song.
Isn't that neat?
All the way up to Micanopy.
Yeah. Brinson, have you been to the mountains?
No.
Really? We have to take you up there.
I have went for the Canadian downhill. Does that count as the mountains?
Oh yeah, that's
okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot you did that.
Yeah, Brinson spent a lot of time up here.
That was so funny.
How about the Canadian downhill from the Floridian that's never been skiing?
That was pretty.
That was awesome.
Oh no, I had a blast. I heard that it was maybe going to come around again.
We might. We're working on it. We've had some meetings. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it together this winter or not, but might be able to drum something up still. But yeah, Brinson Harris. He was on episode of 41 from June 19th of 2019.
41, and now we're on 102.
102,
Ain't that
so it's been a few shows.
Coinkadink at this about halfway.
Buzzing, boys.
I don't want to get you in trouble like last time because didn't your dad give you trouble because you first thing you said you're like, yeah, I am messed up. Like, it was something like you were hungover. And your dad was mad. He's like, you can't say that on media.
Yeah, no, it was definitely because we were.
Or hungover.
We were feeling not too good.
It was a heck of a time.
No, but it was good now. I mean, we all also had a good night there in Saturday night in Medicine Hat.
Yeah, good show. We're back. PBR Canada Cup Series. Zane Lambert gets the win. His second already in this fall.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing quite good. Actually, I didn't even look, but he's probably I gotta look at this here quick. He's probably the new number one in Canada, I would imagine. Oh no, he's not.
You look that
number 2.
He's not.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Dakota Butter still out in front, but it goes Dakota Zane, Cody, Coverchuck, Callum Miller, number 5, Griffin Smeltzer.
How about who thinks that maybe the Aussie's gonna take a Canadian champ? Does anything?
Man, Callum Rad's good, dude. He's a hand, that guy. But I think that Dakota's going back to back.
I would love to make history and watch that. I would love to be in the arena and watch history being made as the first ever, correct?
Back to back, yeah.
Back to back.
First ever back to back.
Canadian.
Hey man, Dakota's gonna win $100,000 that weekend. We'll count
It'd
it.
be cool.
Right Heard it here first, man. Heard it here first.
Wow.
I'm calling it.
The only thing though is when I would love to see it happen. My only feedback is that in Saskatoon in 2019, when he had that opportunity, he fought the shoot and he was not
didn't have
really
a good weekend.
Wanting to get out on either bull on Saturday in Saskatoon. And I saw it happen again the other day in Grand Prairie. And as long as he doesn't go that route, I agree with you. But if he has a mental issue like he did in 2019 in Saskatoon,
if he
stumbles, he will not win unless everybody else falls off. I guess
That's
is
fair.
what it would come down to, right?
He's
got to keep his mind right, and I think he has to mentally overcome whatever that issue is, where he doesn't want to get on those bulls. Because when he wants to get out on those bulls, he can't beat them. But when he's fighting the shoot, it's not good.
Well, you've seen it happen in Calgary too.
Yeah, 100%.
Like just like those opportunities where like he's had the opportunities to win a lot of stuff, and he has won a lot of stuff. Like not taking it away from the guy, but yeah, there's been a few times where he needed to do his deal and get it done, and he hasn't. So and my money's on him to get it done this year. I think he can do it. He's my boy.
What do you think, Brinson? Who are you picking?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I think Dakota Butter. He's got the little bit of the momentum. I do believe that he's in his head just a hair.
At times,
but I still think I'm just really happy to see Cody Kovalchuk back at the top again. You know what I mean? It's surprising that he took a little bit of time off, and then all of a sudden, boom, sitting 3.
Hasn't missed a step, eh?
No, and just been hustling.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just the top 3. I'm the super fan of Zane Lambert. I've always have been ever since I was 18 coming up here. I knew that he's the champ. Always has been. Super fan. You can never count that guy out. Oh, the only guy to make every
finals,
every PBR Canada finals. Only guy ever do it.
Yeah, he's badass.
He's Superman.
I'm also curious though how many points are up at the finals, because that could change everything. If there's more points up at the finals than there were for the whole season, then it's anybody's game. So I'm interested to see what that looks like, because it could come down to whoever has the best finals. Which
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
It would kind of devalue this season if that was the case, but that's not always taken into consideration. So we'll see. But what else? We should probably talk about
next up on the schedule is Calgary.
Yeah, Calgary, and
we have something awesome for you guys because we're the best. We have a ticket promo. You save $10, courtesy of us, using promo code BOOTS on your PBR Canada Canadian Cup Series. It's at the Nutrien Western Event Center, Saturday night, 7 p.m. It's gonna be a hell of a show.
October 23rd.
We're gonna be there. Brinson's gonna be there. We'll be there hanging out.
100%.
Come say hi to us.
Yeah,
Use the
Pendleton Whiskey Classic, 7 p.m. showtime. Promo code BOOTS.
Promo code
They're
BOOTS.
a little bit early.
You can find tickets on the PBR Canada website or Ticketmaster. And yeah, promo code BOOTS. Save some cash. Come hang out. Watch the best Canadian bull riding action you could find.
This whole team, or the production team, the lights, the sound, the pyro, every time we come to a different event, and I know at Calgary they're going to go full out, but the pyro and the fireworks just step it up every single time. Here recently, during the whole PBR, I'm back there getting warmed up behind the chutes right before the show, doing my whole 9, getting it all ready. And then right before the show starts, I run up the steps and I sit in the crowd to watch the opening. It's my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
And at Calgary, that's where Splash Effects and the whole thing, that's where they're based out of. So they're going to bring the heat.
Oh, they'll bring the heat.
They're going to bring the heat. So it's going to be outstanding. That's my favorite part. They're going to blow the roof off that place.
Hell yeah. It's going to be
Wait, anything else, or should we wrap it up? Go to the.
I think that's good for the first part here. We'll go into our interview with Chris Lane, the CEO of Canadian Western Agribition, if you will.
Thank you for listening. Again, this is Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey. Our friend Brinson Harris joining us today.
Yes, sir.
Episode 102, presented by manscaped.com, circle4beverages.com. Check out the ranch water, the sweet water. Get your balls shaved. Huge bush. Promo code. Check it out. Thanks for listening. This is Cowboy Shit. See you all in a bit.
The people of Columbus still hear him riding through their dreams. He killed 17 civilians, you could hear the women scream. Blackjack Persian on a dancing horse was waiting in the wings. Tonight we ride, tonight we ride. We'll skin old Pancho Villa, make chaps out of his hide, shoot his horse, Siete Lewas, and his 27 brides. Tonight we ride.
Welcome back. This is episode 102 of Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey. I'm Ted. He is Wacey. We welcome our guest this week. Big news. He's the CEO of Canadian Western Agribition, and we might have some news to tell you during this show. So please welcome to the show, Chris Lane. Thanks for making this work on a Sunday evening. Nicest October day I've seen in quite a while.
That's crazy,
nice
dude.
For you guys too?
Yeah, it's beautiful out. I mean, we could all be spending the day outside, but thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for making this work. I guess
it's long overdue.
first things first, though, I guess we got to make a big announcement here, Chris. Like, we got to get to that. I'm pumped. I've been saving this for so long. We've been talking about it for quite a while. Made a plan. I guess we met up back in like June 1st and started talking about things. But do you want to break the news to the people, or do you want us to, or what do you?
Yeah, no, I'm happy to do it. I mean, we've been talking about this for months, and it's a huge deal for us. Ted and Wacey are coming to Agribition. We're going to do live programming twice a day. You guys are going to be front and center, and with our rodeo crowd and with the whole Agribition crowd, we're going to be doing some fun public programming. You guys are bringing the Cowboy Ship podcast to Agribition, so we're going to have some fun with the show after the rodeo, and a little bit of fun during the day too. So I don't know, you guys are working on the programming, but we're just jacked to have you there. I think you've done such a good job of being a voice of the industry, voice of the rodeo community, and what better fit than being at Agribition, right?
I'm fired up.
I guess one of the best things is that we get to practice at the CFR, so we can we'll be extra dialed in by the time we get to practice at the CFR, so we're ready for the big show in Regina.
Sure, that's what we tell everybody: get practice at the CFR.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so fired up for this. It'll be fun. Agribition's like one of my favorite things to go to. Like, and I haven't been back since like 2015 is last year I went, I think. And it's gonna be so much fun to hang out there and get to see so many like old friends and all that kind of stuff and talk to some cool people.
That's one of the best things about Agribition. Everybody says that about Agribition. It's, they come and it's the place where they see, old friends and, have a party and have a great time. Wacey, you were actually in our rodeo at one point, right?
The 2014 CCA champion bull rider. What up? It's my claim to fame. Do I have the buckle?
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on a second.
I think I might have to introduce him as the champ every time on the show, like twice a day for 4 days in a row. I may have to introduce him as the champ. Might have to go that route.
I think so. You can get custom made like WWE championship belts.
Ooh.
So you can get one of those.
This one that he has is pretty nice though.
So this is me. That's the Friday night perf. I won the round. I got on this bull when I was 15 and he bucked me off and I finally rode him at the finals. So it was awesome.
Wait, tell the people about the picture for those because this is a podcast.
So this is a picture of me at the Friday. This is the eliminator pen round on a bull called Good as Gold. One of Jimmy Lawrence's old bulls.
What does he look like? What color
he's
are
a
your
big
chaps?
Yellow bull. Two really long pointy horns on the side. I got my green chaps on because green's the color of money.
And your little your cool. Helmet too. Helmeted up.
Helmeted up. Right? I think I threw my helmet so far across the arena that night because it's like I think there's only two people to stay on that day, and I was one of the last guys out. And I rode this bull, and I said I've been on him once before, and he kicked my ass. And I was so pumped to get some payback on him in that arena. And then I was the only person to ride 4 out of 5 bulls that week, so that was pretty cool. My dad was at the Saturday night round. I had to stay on to have a chance to win it. My dad was so nervous he left the building. And this is my buckle I won.
Oh, that looks sharp. That's
nice Montana Silversmith one. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So that was cool. So Agribition holds a very special place in my heart.
I think my favorite part of the entire week, Wacey, was on the way back in Medicine Hat.
Our championship party. Yeah. So Teddy and I traveled together out there, and we're coming back, and I'm fired up. I just won, had a sweet saddle, new buckle, won a bunch of money, and Ted was fired up for me. So he's like, man, we should stay at the Medicine Hat Lodge tonight. It's like I know some people from there. Like he had some hookups or something. So we got a room and went and gambled and had the nice dinner and water slided and celebrated the championship the right way. It was so fun.
That's an awesome story, you guys.
Oh man, it was good, dude. That's the highlight of my rodeo career for sure. But that was such a cool week. I had a bunch of family in town, and the company I worked on the rigs for, they're out of Pilot Butte. So a bunch of them came down. They'd sponsor me every year. I'd work for them, so they got to come down and watch me win that night. And a bunch of people who kind of followed me the whole way. It was fun. It was fun to compete in front of some people from home. I never had to do much of that over my throughout my rodeo career. So it's fun to have people from hometown and my family and everybody there. It was pretty wild.
What's it like?
What I get back on?
Yeah.
Ted Keenan and I have talked a bit about doing a unfinished business cowboy shit to show the people that we're actually cows. There's been a lot of people on social media being like, "Oh, you guys aren't actually cowboys," but it's like, yeah, we are. so we got it. There's something in the works. I don't know. Part of me really wants to do it because I miss it lots and I love it, but I also don't want to hurt myself because that's why I had to quit. So it's kind of like like 50-50, I'd say. But it'd be fun to do it again. But it was, Agribition was cool because I rode there in 2008 in the junior bull riding too. So it was fun to. I've been around Agribition a long time. I actually we had a trade show booth there too for 2 years. Because I had a small business when I was in high school. We sold t-shirts and stuff. And we were actually the first people to sell that Say I Won't brand in Canada. We were the official wholesalers for them in Canada. So that was pretty cool. So we had a couple of booths set up there. My mom used to make like custom made wild rags and so.
Oh, wow. So I've been
amongst it. Yeah, exactly. So that's, again, like I said before, I'm so stoked to go back and bring this to it and again, see some people and share some stories. It's going to be such a fun week.
And you're a Sasky too, right?
Yeah. Born in Moose Jaw, grew up in a small town called Nacum, Northeast Saskatoon. So Sasky at heart. I actually went to the Labor Day Classic football game, and the amount of people that I seen who I haven't seen in like 5 years was so awesome. Like just the people I rodeoed with, and we actually had people come up to me and be like, "Are you Wacey from Cowboy Shit?" And I'm like, yeah. It was so weird, man, to have that stuff happen. It's wild. So no, anyways, needless to say, I'll stop rambling. That's I love Agribition, man. I'm so pumped. Pocket dogs, pierogies. I'm just, the only thing I'm sad about is the pump is closed and the swamp. That's the only thing I'm gonna miss.
Yeah, well, we do a pretty good job. Nobody goes thirsty at Agribition.
I say that's for sure. That's for sure. We'll drink a lot of gold ones.
And our venue where the shows will take place is actually in a thirst quenching area.
The loading chute, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are right in the Bud Light loading chute. So as the name suggests, it's it's well stocked.
We'll get loaded at the loading chute.
That's it. That place gets rowdy, man. Actually, like after the rodeo, like people hang out there and crush a ton of beers. So it's gonna be a good time. It's a good spot for it. So,
what do you think it's gonna take for us to get the attention of the people drinking? I wonder if Wacey has to go up there and like take a cowboy shirt off and put around a little bit. Like,
where's the rowdies?
Oh, you guys are famous. You'll be signing autographs.
Get me a t-shirt cannon, and then I'll get the people going.
Wacey's probably gonna have to sign Cade's belly at the show. That was what he's saying at hockey.
I'll sign some bellies if I have to.
Okay, Chris. I was thinking about something when Wacey was telling his story and about the memory of winning Agribition and the kind of the memories created at the show. What's it like on your side to be the guy, in charge of
making the memories?
Yeah, making the show that makes those memories, because it is a pretty impactful event, not only on the economic impact side, but for the memories of the people that get to go to it. It's almost like you're creating Disneyland for 7 days with a bunch of cows in Regina, basically, in a road.
Yeah. So, I learned pretty early on in this job that the real responsibility that I feel anyway is to sort of be the keeper of the flame and be the, make sure that the atmosphere remains, right? People come to Agribition for lots of reasons, and we can talk about numbers and visitors and economic impact, but really the thing that makes Agribition so awesome is the fact that everybody comes there to see people they haven't seen in a long time, to party a bit, to watch some rodeo, show some cattle. And it becomes this celebration of the working Western industry, which I think is really unique. I mean, nobody would ever claim that we're as big as Stampede, but in a lot of ways, for the working part of the industry, I think we are. Mm-hmm. This is real, ranch and cattle work and livestock producers and all of that stuff that gets done in Agribition. So we become, I would say, like a working holiday for probably most of the industry in Western Canada. And that's special. And that's something that I inherited in this job as something that's really important to keep going. So almost everything we do is built around how do we maintain, retain, build that atmosphere.
Well, some people don't realize how big Agribition is. Like, it's one of the largest agricultural shows in North America. Like, correct me if I'm wrong there, but people come from all over the world to see what's going on there. And again, like you said, people make trips out of it. They'll come down for 3 or 4 days, do all their Christmas shopping, and go to all the shows throughout the day, the rodeo, whatever it may be. Like, it's quite the experience for people.
Yeah, it's become, I think, a significant event on the calendar, again, in our industry. And you're right, for a number of different reasons. We're one of the largest indoor trade shows in Canada. We're one of the best attended, top paying rodeos in Canada. I would argue, and not only because I am at Agribition, but what I've learned over the course of the last 5 years here is that Agribition is the single most important show in the cattle world, certainly in Canada, arguably in North America. And I would say we are top 5 in the world. And I don't say that, again, with any amount of exaggeration. I only learned that by being in this job and going. One of the coolest experiences in this role that I have is to travel around a bit and do market development work in other countries on behalf of our exhibitors. And in these countries like Argentina and Australia and the UK, when I'm talking to people in our business, I assume that I would have to explain what Agribition is. Not once have I ever had to tell anybody what it is. They already know.
That's cool.
That's a very cool brand umbrella that exists around the world for what we do. And so when you have that, it's really easy to get people excited about being here. And so they'll do some work because it's important to their business. But really, they get to spend a bunch of days, having fun and being immersed in a bit of a party atmosphere around it too.
So obviously, like going into this year, there's been some hurdles and stuff to jump over. Like so now that it's getting closer and things are happening, like what are you looking forward to most heading into the 2021 version of Agribition?
Yeah.
Agribition.
So yeah. Our unofficial name. Yeah, no question. I mean, 2020 canceling the show, that was a heartbreaker. Like that stung on a lot of levels. I think not only for us, but for people who.
It's tough on the industry too, right? Like you said, it's such a pivotal event. Like it was kind of dead. It kind of everybody felt the hate of not having it.
Yeah, so that was a hard one. We took some time to sort of get over it and get through that. But then really, like, when it became time to talk about coming back, everybody was there. Everybody was jacked up, ready to do it. We knew that there was really, someone else was going to have to tell us we couldn't. Mm-hmm. We weren't entertaining the fact that we weren't going to go. So in some ways, it's like, you don't always know what you have until it's gone. And I think in the Agribition community, it's been here for 50 years. It left a bit of a hole. Mm-hmm. So everybody, yeah, like I said, is really excited, really jacked up about it. And, whatever we've been through in the last year, I think is being overtaken by the excitement about what's to come here in just a few weeks. So, we got over 1,200 head of cattle entered, 2,500 head of livestock. It's going to be a show.
And you got 2 guys with the podcast coming.
That's the best part.
There's a lot of cowboy shit that goes on at Agribition.
I think one of the things I'll tell you guys in this job is that there's like an entire apparatus of infrastructure that basically keeps all that cowboy shit that happens at Agribition kind of off my desk, or like, there's lots of it that doesn't get up to the office. I'm fine with that. I think that, I told everybody once, like, if I don't know about it, I don't have to do anything about it. So, not to encourage any bad behavior or anything, but like I said, Agribition is about the atmosphere and people feeling a bit, be able to unwind after a long
So year. If we're not hearing from you during the week, we're doing a good job.
Yeah, that's right. If I'm sitting leaning against the rail watching you guys all the time, we might have to have a chat. But I'm pretty sure.
Something just popped in my head. Since you've been CEO, has there been any like crazy show steer animal escapes? Like I know one year at the Calgary Stampede, when my dad was competing at it, they had a show steer get out and just running up on the stairs of the Saddle Dome and like going all like terrorizing everything. So I just wonder if there's anything.
Yeah, so I'll tell you guys a story. So my first year, and anybody who takes this job, like, we don't know what's happening the first year. We just don't know. You're just kind of along for the ride. Anyway, first day of my first show, and I get a call at about 6 a.m. that says, there's a bull that got out.
Oh no.
And for anybody who doesn't know, Agribition is in the middle of Regina.
Yeah, in the heart of the city. Yeah,
the stockyards. We take basically the exhibition grounds and a bunch of convention center space and turn it into a barn. So anyway, I was like, "Nah, this is like a hazing. You're screwed. There's no way."
There's messing with you.
Yeah, so I refused to believe it for like the first 15 minutes. I'm like, "Guys, get out of my office. We got." Like, no, this is actually really a problem. And so they bring in like one of our walkie-talkies. We've got all of our crew have walkie-talkies, and they say, just listen. So they turn it up, and sure as shit, half our guys are out chasing an escaped 2-year-old bull down like a main street in China.
Down Albert Street.
Yeah, down Dudney Avenue. And And this goes on and on for a bit until I can start to hear sirens over the radio. Then you can hear this cop chatter around. They're trying to like corral this thing with cop cars. And then we hear that like they're getting ready to unholster some guns on this thing.
Oh no!
Shoot a cow.
And so thankfully our guys sort of get there in time and get them blocked off in a schoolyard, no less. While school is about to start, and get them sort of roped and dragged and hauled into a trailer. But that was day one of my first show, and then of course we have daily media briefings, and so everybody in the media was asking about this. That's all anybody talked about at Agribition for the first 2 days of my first show was this escape bull.
Oh, wow.
And people still think that was a publicity stunt, like we did that on purpose so that we'd get in the news. But I was terrified that we were gonna, have some Law and Order shootout with this.
Imagine that, hey, just like popping off the
2-year-old bull.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, yes. So stuff like that does happen.
That's awesome.
I got on this same train of thought. You worked in the media business for a long time. You had to have some crazy stories on the media side of things. What's some of the most ridiculous news stories you covered or were part of on that side of things? Because there had to be something freaking wild too.
Yeah, man. You're right. There's some crazy stuff that happens there. Okay, well, I'll tell you maybe a couple stories. So, part of my media career, I was actually in Prince Edward Island. I lived in Charlottetown for a number of years, and I was producing television news there. And I had come to Charlottetown directly from Calgary, where I had been living, and so it's like, going from Calgary in the heat of the boom in the 2000s to Charlottetown is like, you don't just gear down one. You're like
it's another world.
A bunch.
Stock car to a smart car. So it is entirely different world. So I remember one of the stories that we were doing was at PEI at that time, it was illegal to have aluminum cans. Everything was glass bottles. There was no aluminum cans on the island.
When was this?
This would have been like 2006 or 7, something like that. And so everything was in these really like quaint glass bottles. It was like being in the 1950s. And I think it's because they had a glass bottling plant there. So they were like protecting the local industry. But anyway, so because you couldn't get cans on Prince Edward Island, it was like a super contraband thing to go get people to bootleg canned
aluminum prohibition
in Moncton, because Moncton was right across the bridge. Anyway, everybody kind of knew this was low key going on, but one day we got a call in the newsroom about a tip that there was a aluminum can bust happening in this town called Kensington. And what happened was the guy who ran the convenience store in this town had been like importing canned pop from Moncton and sort of selling it under the table. And the RCs roll in with like the whole 9 yards, like it's a bust. And they do this whole show and tell, like they march this guy out and they do this evidence thing of all these like cans of pop. And like, that was the good police for the day. Like,
wow.
Say, because you don't want to get your Mountain Dew in a can. That's dangerous.
Oh, that's so funny.
So, I could go on about, kind of the
Holy.
Education of the way of life on that island in the media. But that was one that really struck me. I'm like, are we really doing a news story on
So you showed up.
Most towns have like a big drug bust or something, and they're just getting busted for aluminum cans.
Aluminum cans.
Yeah, it was such a PEI story.
What were the charges against the perpetrator in this instance?
Well, there was some like violating the can ban had its own specific charge. But I tend to think, and don't quote me on this because it's been a long time, but I think he got like some sort of smuggling rap or whatever.
What?
That's wild.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
That'd have been sweet. That'd have been made for good headlines. I'd like to see it.
Aluminum can.
And this
bust.
other time we did a story on a seal that was like, he was like trekking from one side of the island to the other, like crossing oceans. And so he was just like flipping his way down the highway. And that in itself was a news story. So, some of the stuff that made the news in PEI was
Life moves pretty slow over there.
Yeah, it sure can. It sure can. But I loved it, to tell you the truth. And one of the reasons that I liked it so much is that it actually is a very rural place. Mm-hmm. So agriculture and those kind of values and that kind of work is really on display, and it's really quite celebrated there. So, I love seeing that just in a different aspect.
Well, it's cool too because even when the PBR goes out there, like people love like out east,
Mhm.
like you guys do really well like selling out shows and stuff. So it's alive and well out in the east too.
We were like one of the last shows ever in the building in Moncton, the old building there before they built the new one. Then we got to go to the new one the next year. It was pretty neat spot out there, that's for sure. I never got to go to the ones in PEI yet, but a lot of red dirt
Harness
in
racing was a
PEI.
big thing in PEI. Harness racing was a big deal in PEI.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Standardbreds.
Yeah, and that was really neat. I didn't know anything about that, honestly. I didn't know anything about that until I moved there, and then spent a bit of time learning about it. And yeah, it's cool. Like it's a really traditional place. All the things that we like about Western Canada and Western values, it's there. It's just in a different application. And yeah, I love my time out there. I'd encourage anybody who hasn't been out to the Maritimes to go.
So what took you there, and what took you out of there?
So I was working for the media then. I was working for CBC, and one of the good things about CBC is it's a really good way to see the country if you're up for it. So I was working in Calgary, and a job came up in Charlottetown, so moved out to Charlottetown. And when I did my media and journalism degree, I did it here in Regina, and I kind of fell in love with the city. I'm not from here, but I fell in love with it, and I thought, if there was ever a chance to come back, I'd sure like to. And then sure enough, there was a job that came up here at CBC in Regina. So we left Charlottetown and came here.
And then where did you meet your wife along the way? Where's she from?
I've got two. I've had two.
Yeah.
So my first wife, we met in Calgary while I was working at CBC there. And then I just got married this summer, remarried this summer.
Yeah.
And congratulations.
Congrats. Yes.
Yeah. Appreciate that. And Jill and I met here in Regina. So yeah, we're definitely putting down roots here. She's been in media in Saskatchewan for a long time too. So she's no stranger to that world.
So your transition out of the media to Agribition, what sparked that, or how'd you end up coming to be the CEO of Agribition?
Yeah, I get that question a lot because it seems like such a weird or unconventional jump between professions. And so I'd been in the media for a handful of years here, like maybe 5 years in Regina, and obviously got to know Agribition well. It's such a key part of what the city's about. It's sort of baked into the fabric of what happens here in Regina. And so I knew the existing CEO was leaving, and I got a call that said, "Hey, maybe would you be interested in chatting with someone about this job?" And I really brushed it off. I was like, I don't know what the fuck do I know about about anything other than media, to tell you the truth. But anyway, I had a couple of conversations with people who knew about the job, but I hadn't really applied for it. And then I started thinking more and more about the similarities. Like, okay, if they're looking for these kind of skills in the job, if they're looking for this kind of leadership, well, maybe it's worth a conversation. So I spent probably a couple of weeks really thinking about that. Is like, do I have something that would be valuable to this organization at this period in its history? Mm-hmm. And anyway, put together a bit of a presentation and went and had a chat with the hiring board. And they hired a guy from CBC. So I was really happy about it. Honestly, I was really excited. Like I said, there's more in common than people might originally just think looking at it. I think it helps to, to know a little bit about agriculture, come from, a place in Canada. I'm from Northern Alberta where, it's so important.
It's deep there. The roots, like agriculture roots, are huge.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's what our family did for generations. So there's, a real respect and kind of understanding about the industry and about the people that are in it. I think that's a prerequisite. I'll say that. But then when you start looking at sort of the professional similarities around, it's a program, it's a show, it's about connecting with audiences, it's about positioning, and it's about, business management and trying to find ways to build programs that connect with people so that they, come to your show. There's probably more similarities than differences, really. If at least that's, that was the tack I took. I said, look, I think I can help the show in these number of ways, and be a pretty fierce advocate for Western industry and agriculture and the people in it in the same time. Because I think, like I said, you need that in your heart. If you don't have that, if you don't live and breathe that, or if you can't get passionate about it, I don't think you have business being in a job. So yeah, and I think they sniffed that out pretty quick. I think this whole industry does, honestly. I've actually felt that this industry is really welcoming to anybody, as long as they're genuine and genuinely curious about it. We bring in lots of people from urban centers, or for people that don't, spend a lot of time in agriculture or Western events. And, I've never seen anything that's actually more welcoming, as long as those folks are genuinely interested in what they're seeing. So I think it's we're a Big Ten industry, and I was happy to be able to come in and I don't think I put it in the ditch yet.
Hey, you hired us, so you're on the right track, man.
Okay, so you get hired as CEO of Agribition. Is it? Are you? I guess I'm curious on this. How the heck does it work? Are you the CEO indefinitely, or do you have a contract for a certain amount of time, then renegotiate after a while, or is it a set per year, and then there's ability to go up and down, and if you add more sponsorship, or if you sell more tickets, or I'm curious how that would work as in that position too.
Yeah, well, I think everybody's, when you get to that executive level of employment, I think you kind of serve at the pleasure of the board, right? I mean, you're hired until you're not.
Yeah.
So, and everybody's arrangement is different. Honestly, I'm just so proud to be able to be associated with this organization and excited to work in the industry that, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about my employment status or my employment contract. I spend all my time trying to think about how do we strengthen Agribition? How do we make Agribition a platform for being, a pillar of the industry and supporting everybody that supports us?
I like it. I was curious on the Agribition side. So going, not necessarily how it applies to you directly, but what is next for Agribition? What are you working on to improve, or to, how does it get bigger and better from where you're at? The CFL season has changed a little bit this year, so that kind of helps out with the Grey Cup side of things, where it has hit on the same dates a few times, or you've had to move forward or back on the Agribition side of things. But yeah, what do you do? I guess one further point that might lead into the question too is that the population in Canada and probably in the world, and I don't know this for sure, I'm guesstimating that it's moving more urban than rural. So the bridging that gap is probably an important part. But tell me more. Tell me what's going on that way.
Yeah, well, it's a good question, and honestly, it was one of the questions they asked me when I applied for the job. Is what do you think Agribition needs? What role does it play? And I think what's important for us is to understand that first of all, the event is the core of what we do. So always, whatever we do, builds, supports, strengthens, improves the quality of the event that we do, because I think that's the piece where it brings everybody together. But outside of that, I think the way you do that from an Agribition standpoint is be an active advocate in a number of different ways. We're the only organization like us that I know that has an active outbound market development program. So we're around the world. We're telling the Canadian beef story. We're supporting Canadian genetics trade. We're bringing buyers into Canada. So we do a lot of that work on international market development to support the overall industry. That's important. We do a ton in education, to your point around the demographic shift. The cities are getting bigger, but the need for agriculture is only growing too. So, how do you bridge that gap? How do you put the work and the ethical work around raising food that we do in this country? How do you tell that story to a domestic audience too? We have a role to play in that. I think an important role to play. And then things like mentorship. We started a mentorship program a few years ago in partnership with the government here, because we saw a need to connect up and comers in our industry and young people to make sure that they stay in the industry, connect them with people that can encourage them along that way. So that's been a success for us too. Really, Agribition is an umbrella brand that I think can get some things done in a lot of different parts of this industry. Everybody knows us for our event, again, not unlike Stampede. But I think that gives us some strength and some latitude to use our knowledge and our expertise in a number of different ways, as long as we're all about supporting agriculture, all about supporting Western Canada. And I think that's something we're really proud to do. So anytime that there's an opportunity to do that, I think you'll see Agribition consider it to be more than the 6-day event, and to have our brand and have our expertise active in a number of different ways in the industry.
That was a good answer.
That
was a really good answer, man.
We're already on the schedule. I'm looking at the Agribition schedule.
What? We are?
Yeah, Agribition Live with Ted and Wacey, 12
what?
to 1. It's official. 12 to 1 daily. Just for those curious, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. daily at the loading chute. Get yourself a lunch, barley sandwich for lunch. Come check out the live show. We're gonna have
I think our bar's open at 11. So because we understand that people are in different time zones, and the Agribition Paralyzer is the famous drink of Agribition.
So good.
And that can shake off the night before pretty good. Not that I would encourage any risky behavior, but if you needed something milk based in the morning, that'll do it. So get this, guys. So we sell 13,000 paralyzers over 6 days a day.
Oh my God, that's a lot of milk.
Jeez.
Yeah. So one time I was walking in the back of the kitchen before Agribition, like the week before, and the kitchen staff were going crazy because the Dairyland milk guys were dropping off all the milk for these paralyzers that were ordered, and they didn't know. They hadn't been through an Agribition. They're like, they thought they're trying to send it all back. The supervisor was like, no, we need that.
We need this milk.
Yeah.
How many people on the park per day? It's 120,000. So is it 20,000 people per day on the grounds?
Yeah, well, it doesn't, it's not spread out evenly. Like our attendance curve, it kind of goes like this through the week. So it kind of like a hockey stick a bit. Okay. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday are the busiest days, and it's a little bit more elbow room at the beginning of the week. So, I think on our busy days, we're talking like 30 or 35,000 people. Damn. So it's a lot, and it's Regina in November, so everybody's inside, obviously. And I can tell if we're having a good show because on the Thursday, if I find it hard to walk around, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people here. That's
good.
Yeah.
Oh dang!
I think it will be a good one. There'll be people are itching to get doing stuff. It's
and then after the rodeo, the Maple Leaf Finals at the Brandt Center, Cowboy Shit Live, 9 p.m. at the loading chute. It goes from Agribition Live
so
at
cool,
noon.
Man.
We gotta keep it PG in the daytime, and then 9 p.m. the kids are all gone, right? So then we have like an adult-ish show, Cowboy Shit Live, 9 p.m.
Cowboy Shit After Dark.
Yeah, that's I don't think I want to see what you're thinking about there, but I'll.
Oh man.
Yeah, it'll be fun, you guys. I'm excited for it. I think you guys working on some programming. Who's coming on the show?
Oh yeah, we cannot disclose much of that information yet, but we for sure have Quick Dick McDick will be making an appearance. He'll be on the show. Yeah, we've got him. We're working on a few other guests. I've talked to a couple folks. I don't have a ton of firm answers yet. It's pretty far. I guess it's 33 days from today's air date of the show, so it's coming up quite quickly. But we're gonna have
we got some stuff in the pipe. It's gonna be deadly.
Yeah, we're gonna have. Who would you like to be on the show, Chris? Maybe that's a better question.
Do you want to be on the show?
You guys can fill it with better people than me. Let's see. You know who's coming to the show? Actually, Brett Wilson is going to be here in person.
Really, Brett Wilson? You said?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That'll be good.
You might need to get connected with him to bring him on the show.
Yeah, he would be a good interview. I would say he's always interesting.
Is that how you became a Nashville Predators fan?
No, that's a coincidence. If he asked, I'll say yes. No, honestly, I just went to Nashville and I loved it so much. I was like, you know what? This is a good town. I like it here. I'm a fan of anything that happens in Nashville, I think.
Somebody told me that we should take Cowboy Shit, the merchandise, to Dragon's Den. So maybe we can do a live pitch on Agribition Live.
Yeah, sure.
Investors, possibly you.
Possibly you. Cowboy Shit worldwide, wide.
Oh, dear. Oh, okay, Chris. What does a person that maybe hasn't been to Agribition before, or like myself, I went in, I think 12, 13, 14, 15. I went a few years, and I think we stayed at the Wingate for the most part, and it was pretty much like tuned from the rodeo, and there wasn't a lot else going on because it was pretty much like recover from the hangover from the day before and then maybe wander around a little bit, but like mostly working in the room all day. What do I have to experience this year that maybe I didn't in previous years? What do I got to see for somebody that has even been there before? Where's that? And then we'll go back to the noobs. Further along here.
I think no matter if you've been there or not before, I really think it's worth spending some time walking the barns and actually sitting in on one of those purebred cow shows. Like those animals are tanks. It is impressive to see the quality of those cattle. Like even if you don't really know what you're looking at necessarily, you can tell you're looking at something that's high end. I tell people all the time that if Agribition was a car dealership, the only cars we'd have on the lot would be Lamborghinis. Mm-hmm. So that gives you a sense of the quality of what's in those barns. And, it's incredible. And the people that are there, the exhibitors, amazing people, interesting, passionate, all that stuff. Like you could kill days just walking those barns and looking at the different breeds and then, watching them in the show ring and kind of getting into how that competition works. I think it's a really unique thing and it's easy to get passionate about. So that would be my number one recommendation.
We gotta get Ted to groom a show steer at Agribition. I think that'd be good content.
I would be a fish out of water. I wouldn't know what to do.
It'd be awesome.
It'd be bad.
What surprised me is the amount of like grooming supplies.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a full on deal, like the vacuums and all the windblower, the air dryers and everything. Like it's like quite the operation. Like when I used to be in 4-H, like we'd do our steers for the show day, and like the amount of work that goes into like grooming one so the judges like it is insane.
Yeah, and I think too, like spend some time with one of the judges. They'll tell you all about this stuff. And like,
yeah, I'm curious now. I don't know.
What do they look for? How do they compare it? It's still a real, eyeball kind of job. It's so there's real talent in the people that are placing these animals. I've had a pleasure obviously to spend some time with the best people in this business and the stuff they know and the stuff they'll point out as they're doing their job it's astounding to see it. And then when you see what they're pointing at, you're like, oh yeah, I see that too. That's actually incredible. I can tell you nobody wants me judging their animal in the show ring, but I'm very happy to listen to the experts tell me what they're doing.
How many fights have you had to break up over maybe a misjudged animal? Are there many is that do those get brought up? Do those get brought upstairs?
I think at Agribition, everybody is so professional that they wouldn't let that happen at the show. But I can guarantee there's lots of opinions about
in the back in the barns.
Yeah. But I don't think that's nothing that a couple of drinks at the stall doesn't fix anyway.
Okay.
A couple paralyzers at the loading chute.
So for somebody new though, what would be something they have to experience? Wacey told me when I first came, because that was actually where Wacey and I met, was at Agribition. Mm-hmm. The first time we ever met in person, he picked me up at the feedlot where all the animals stay. North.
Is that Lipsets?
Yeah. Isn't it? I literally caught a ride in a semi, like a liner with Blaine Fison to Regina to this feedlot, and that's where I met Wacey. I think you had your booth there in
2013.
Yeah,
that was the first year I had my booth there, or second year, I think. Yeah.
So we actually met there. So that's kind of a cool.
There's a lot of couples that met at Regina. I didn't know you guys.
You son of a bitch!
Walked right into that one.
Oh dang. Okay, so for somebody new, Wacey told me how to get a pocket dog, and then he took me to the swamp one night, and I got in on the paralyzers, and then we went to. I did a lot of drinking at those few years that I was there early on. But what else besides the alcohol do we consume at Agribition?
So this year is actually pretty cool. This sounds like, too. But it isn't a setup. Actually, we didn't talk about this, but we're doing a barbecue competition, like a sanctioned.
I love smoke
qualifier for Kansas City barbecue competition.
What?
So yeah, it's a big deal, and that's going to be happening on the Thursday, Friday, Saturday of Agribition. So that's exciting because that was, I always wanted to do and add something like that. I spent a lot of time in the southern U.S. and I love it down there, and that's a big part of that of what that region is about. Mm-hmm. I said, there's nothing actually a better thematic fit for Agribition than doing a class barbecue competition. So we're going to do one. So we've got, I think, over a dozen teams signed up by now that are coming all over Canada. And they're going to compete, and the winners get to go to the Worlds of Kansas City. So
is it throughout the week, or is it just one day, or how does that look?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think the big judging day is Saturday. So I think the way these and I'm learning a lot about this as we build this program, but I think the big judging day is Saturday. They spend most of Friday prepping and cooking. They'll do some public stuff like, tips and tricks and recipes and things like that, and then actually submit their stuff for judging. So
That's a cool thing.
This is how dumb I was about this. I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we like gave them a secret ingredient and they had to like make their that? And these guys are like, no, we're not doing that. This is the real deal. Like this is
for the worlds, man.
Yeah, I'm not, putting some dumb candy that you came up with in my ribs. Like, what are you, an idiot? So anyway,
Pop Rocks secret ingredient.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not interested in that, as they shouldn't be. So anyway, we're excited about that. But so if you're new though, the other thing that is kind of a must are the mini donuts. And I think that's at every fair, every exhibition. There's no rodeo that's not better with mini donuts in your hand. So
it's true.
I think it's that too.
Is there stuff going on in the Brand Center throughout the day? Like there's been mounted shooting and jousting in the past.
Oh yeah, we've got a full schedule, daytime programming. So that stuff is free with your ticket when you get there. So yeah, we've got stock dogs, we've got cattle dogs, we've got a ranch rodeo we're doing this year on Friday.
Yeehaw.
Nice.
So that's going to be fun. Obviously that's that's something else altogether. I'm looking forward to that.
They're awesome. Watching ranch rodeos it gets rowdy. I like watching it. It's fun.
Yeah, like those guys are tough. Like there's pretty much an Agribition I wouldn't do or couldn't do, but especially that stuff.
Are they doing like the ranch bronc riding and the wild cow milk and stuff with it?
Yep.
Nice.
So that'll be something to see for sure.
Yeah.
We got jousting on Tuesday. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but
I saw them last time there because the year that I won was the year that they were jousting there. Those guys were funny.
Yeah, they haven't been around for a few years, so we're gonna bring them back this year, and they're gonna do they're gonna add sword fighting into the mix here. So like knights in armor sword fighting. Not super Western, but it's a super fun event to watch.
Cool, yeah.
And they really hit each other. Like there's no fake in that one.
Do you want to joust, Ted, or what?
Haul one guy to the hospital behind Agribition.
Really?
Yeah, we had to cut him out there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And like those guys, they're not in the best shape, those guys.
Yeah, I like them. I'd like to spend more time on them to figure out sort of what makes them tick, because I'm pretty sure it's not what makes me tick.
No, I don't want to get jabbed with a wooden stick.
Yeah, like you pretty much know you're getting concussed every time.
Oh man.
So it's legit. It's not a show at all. Like they literally actually joust.
Yeah, it's
for real.
Absolute 100% contact. And this whole podcast is about me being surprised at my own job, but I was surprised at honestly the force of the impact. That first year I saw those guys do that, I'm like, we're gonna kill one of these guys. But no, they know what they're doing. They're professional stuntmen, so they're not.
Okay, so
they're not amateurs.
Okay. But they know what's going on. That's so wild, man.
Where do you find these guys? How did this happen, or was it grandfathered in? Like, did you add this, or was this like
these guys?
Yeah, where did this happen?
This existed when I showed up. So yeah, we kind of took this one over, and we gave them a break for a couple of years, and now we're bringing them back. Also in my first year, we did running with the bulls.
Oh yeah, heard of it.
Yeah, that was crazy too. We did that for a couple of years, and it surprised me. Again, theme of this podcast: how many people just from town signed up to do that.
People love that stuff, man. Even like when you go to a bull ride and there's like the ring of fire or bull poker, like people just get super horny to do that stuff. I don't know why.
Yeah, I like the teeter-totter one. You guys?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's awesome. When I went to college in Texas, I went to Ranger. We used to go down to Stephenville every Wednesday. If they had a thing called the Buck and Duck, so it was a team roping and a bull riding every Wednesday, and they'd have bull games. So like they put like the one game, it was bull soccer. So like you have to get the bull to chase you through a made up goal. And the other one, they tape $100 bills, the tips of the horns of these bulls, or they put $50 bills on big stick steers, like it was like a bunch of drunk college students. So like we wanted cash. So everybody would play these crazy bull games, but they had the teeter-totter there one time. It was wild, man. It was so crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of creativity around that. Yeah. One of the places that I've been to a few times is Houston for their rodeo. It's awesome. A level event there. But I love the calf scramble they do with the kids. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, it's awesome.
And they're like high school kids. They're not little kids. They're high school kids, right?
Yeah. And it's like, that comes after the bulls at the rodeo. and everybody's like, that's what they want to see.
Gets people going. It's like the wild pony race in Stampede. People love watching. Like the people from town, like they love watching the wild pony race.
Why did you get rid of the running of the bulls? Was there an incident, or was there a liability insurance issue, or?
Well, I mean, there's always yes to both of those, but that wasn't the reason. We just cycle stuff out all the time. Like I'm open to it coming back. But one of the things at Agribition, whenever we talk about it, when it's Agribition season, everybody wants to know what's new at Agribition. So
that's true.
It's pretty important on those kind of programs to give them a break once in a while, or cycle them out, or come up with something new. Not because we don't want them here, just because sometimes you need a little bit of variety. You don't want to. I think it's a dangerous thing in the event business to do something that is just the same every year. You always kind of, even when you talk about, Stampede or K-Days, it's always about the new food that's there and things like that. So there is an element of variety that people are looking for. So we're always looking for things that we could add to the show.
So you said cycle things out. So that's why we only got a 1-year contract, I guess. Try it out.
It's a professional
show me contract.
Wait, 1 year, prove your worth.
Is there something that you haven't tried yet at Agribition that you would like to try event wise, or something you've seen somewhere else that you think would be a good fit that you'd like to try?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Well, the staff are tired of me talking about that calf scramble, because I think we can do a good one. So that's one that I would love to be able to put in at Agribition. And I think it's a 4-H fundraiser, and it's all for the right reasons.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. We talked about having a bullfighters event at Agribition to kind of complement what goes on in the rodeo. So yeah, we got a list of things that I think if the timing was right, we'd be interested in looking at what we could add. I think our challenge is that we do 106 different events over 6 days. So like the schedule is full, as it should be. But anytime we want to add something, we want to make sure that it's not taking away from something else. The minute that you're making people choose to go to this part of the show or this part of the show, you have to be really cautious that you're actually bringing new people in. You're not asking the same people to sort of divide their attention. So those are some of the questions that we ask ourselves around programming.
How do you put your own stamp on Agribition as the CEO, or is that not really a goal? Are you more so, like you said before, and maybe I'm answering my own question here, but is it more so about the event overall? Is there any part of it personally that you want to put your own stamp on this and look back someday and have the legacy, like, yeah, I helped do this at this show, like it, because it is a major part of this industry in the country. It is the largest in many categories.
It's hiring us, Ted, that's a stamp. I brought those guys to Agribition.
That's right. If I can go down in history, the CEO did that, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
No, but to be serious, I'm not interested in, like, I don't need anything to be sort of like tied to Chris Lane's time at Agribition. I think I'll be most proud if the event and the organization becomes more important, if it occupies a bigger space, if it hosts increasingly important conversations about agriculture and Western entertainment and Western values in the country. And those are hard things to measure, I know, but I think about that stuff every day. Are we building the sustainability of this organization? Are we making sure that it's going to be around for another 50 years? Are we doing things that make sure that the generation of kids now will grow up and bring their kids to Agribition? I feel a responsibility to do that so that whoever comes next and next and next and next inherits a strong organization that has sort of made its mark and continues to be important. I think the dream is that an organization like Agribition becomes the single most important conversation point for anything that matters in our industry. And if we can do that, if we can continue to push for that, we'll be in pretty good shape. And I think I'm happy with how I'm pushing it. I don't think I'm ever satisfied though. And that's probably a good thing. If I ever thought that I was satisfied, then maybe it would be time to have someone else come in and see what they could do. But I got lots of work to do left here and I love it. So I'm not going anywhere unless they tell me to.
So like you mentioned like creating those moments and that kind of stuff. Like that's what you strive for. What has been like your favorite moment as CEO, or your proudest moment, even, I guess you could say?
I think one of the proudest things is the first Supreme that we were able to have in our brand new building. So I came into this job where, Agribition was in a real crisis before me around, around facilities and buildings. The show had outgrown it. It was, the buildings were ridiculously decrepit. And the people who were before me did a lot of work to get a deal done on a new building, but it wasn't built yet. So when I came in, really finishing that project and transferring all of what Agribition was into a new space without losing the atmosphere, that was, I took that really, really to heart. I mean, we were doing things like tearing down the old stadium and the auditorium, and with it went the swamp. So all of a sudden I was the guy that didn't, that
you killed the swamp
when we tore down the swamp. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. You can't kill an idea, guys.
That's true. The swamp is a vibe. The swamp is a vibe.
So in very real terms, we were removing tangible parts of what that Agribition atmosphere was. And I really, like I said, took it to heart to make sure that we moved into a new space that everybody wanted, but we were all a little bit sad that we were leaving something of the organization behind. So I would say, that first Supreme in the new building, where it was just as electric and it was just as intense and heart pounding as it ever was in the old stadium, I thought, yeah, okay, I'm proud of this. We did this as a team. We managed to keep the beating heart of what this organization is about alive, no matter where we are.
That's another good answer.
I want to go. I want to go back.
Tell me when you're back.
Yeah.
I want to go to a specific story. There was a big kerfuffle, a big mix-up, a big. I'm not even sure how else to explain it, but the steer wrestlers went on strike at Agribition in the last 5 years. I don't even remember what year it is now, but
it's like 2018, I think.
Yeah,
it was 17. I think it was 17.
17.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's all kind of running together, but one of those years, yeah.
So the steer wrestlers, there was an issue with the stock apparently, and I don't know the whole story again, so I don't want to. I'm sure somebody will send me a note afterwards and say that I told the story wrong, but there was an issue with stock in my recollection, and the steer wrestlers, except for Travis Rie and Morgan Grant, decided not to go to Agribition. What was that issue like on your end, Chris, and what did you know about it? What happened? What was the fallout? I know that you were not very happy with the CPRA after, which I can completely understand. And them being the sanctioning body, it's tough for them too, because they're not really the producers, where you're the rodeo producer and then you have to rely on them for contestants and they don't deliver. So I don't know. Tell us the story from your point of view. We gotta talk about this.
Yeah, sure. Well, it was dramatic, that's for sure. And I'm a little bit like you. I'm pretty sure that I don't know that whole story. I'm not sure anybody really does. But the way that came about is it kind of came about last minute, I would say, like during the week. We kind of got wind that there was going to be a problem here with these bulldoggers that it was at least on the surface around stock or availability or quality of stock or whatever. And I think we were pretty active in trying to figure out what we could do to solve that, and I think we did to a large degree. But I think at that point it became there was some pride. There was a point to be made, I think, that you have to ask them if they made it or not. I'm not sure, but from an event perspective, that was, quite honestly, it was embarrassing. It became tough. We lost a longtime sponsor of that event over that, which was kind of my message at CPRA. I flew out and attended the board meeting after that, and I think it was pretty clear on our perspective around that. So I don't fault anybody for standing up for what they believe in or making a point. I mean, we sure did. If there was a valid point to be made, I think, like to think everybody learned from that and moved on. But it was interesting. There was lots of divided opinion, I think, in the rodeo community around how that all unfolded. And like I said, I'm not sure that I'll ever know really fully the story behind that, but it was too bad. I think, we spend a lot of time, and obviously these contestants spend a lot of time getting ready to put on a good show and earn some money and put in a good performance. And that didn't happen in that event that year. And that was a bit of a blow that, that might've been the first edge I got in this job, is that, to know that those kind of things can happen. And I think I got a lot smarter and a lot sharper about that kind of stuff. And, but at the same time, we've kept our relationship with CPRA pretty good. I think we're pretty good partners in a lot of things, and we put on a pretty good rodeo. So obviously the sport and the relationships can survive it. But I know it was an issue that a lot of people talked about for a while after that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now we have the Maple Leaf Circuit Finals. So there's, I believe it's the top eight per. There's eight per pool, right? You got 2 pools, 4 days of rodeo, and
I think you just made a rodeo shorter. I think it's 10.
It's 10. Okay, yeah, there you go. So 10. So 20 contestants total. There you go. 10 contestants based on the Maple Leaf Circuit standings, 4 rounds. It's a neat format. That's something different, and you have a winner each day, which is important, I think, in the rodeo business. And you guys put on a great show with C5 Rodeo and all your personnel. It's a top-notch show, right? So tell us about that a little bit though too, and how that change come to be, and maybe where the idea came from, the name, and how the contestants actually have a chance to qualify for the Ram National Circuit Final. So it's kind of it's a big deal.
Yeah, we're excited to host it. We're proud of it. It's we've been doing pro rodeo for a couple of years, and then Jeff Robson, I was at an event with him, and he said, "Hey, we should talk about this. I think we have an opportunity to bring a Canadian Circuit Finals, and you guys fit pretty good on the calendar for that. We put on a good rodeo, and it's the kind of atmosphere that we think would go well with it." So we talked for a little while about that and around how that would work. And sort of what was important to us was that we sort of maintained our editorial control over the production. And I think it was, it might be a bit of an unusual situation between event producer or promoter, CPRA for a finals, and what happens at Agribition. But like I said, we're really good partners with those guys. So we were able to come to a deal here about how this would work. And yeah, we're really happy with it. I think it's an exciting rodeo. It's, top guys, good stock. And I think everybody competing to get to the Ram Nationals is pretty fun too. And we take it really seriously around the production value of that rodeo. We know that we're an entertainment buy for a lot of the urban ticket buyers here. So it has to be a good time, even if you don't really know what you're watching in some cases. And I think that's important for the sport, right? I think that's important for any sport. At some point, you have to get people in the door, and they become fans once they're in, and they have a good time and they see a good production. But we think that we're sort of a gateway drug for rodeo, because it's a fun building to be in, and the production's good. And then when you leave, you're a fan of the sport if you weren't when you walked in. So I think that's pretty important.
You've got $15,000 added in the breakaway roping. That's going to be one of the bigger pots in the breakaway side of things in the entire country.
Yeah, well, that comes from the association, and again, this is the first time we're going to have breakaway at our event. We're happy to add it, that's for sure. We were set to have it in 2022, 2020 also, I should say. So we were kind of.
I thought I'd give you clarify that because I was confused.
So again, that was one of the things we were really disappointed not to be able to do last year. So I don't know, when I watch that event, I like it, and I think it's going to be a crowd favorite too. For our crowd, it'll be a lot of fun.
What is your favorite rodeo event?
That's going to get me in trouble, you guys.
Got to answer.
I don't think so. Why would it get you in trouble? Steer wrestling? What?
You're allowed to have a favorite.
No. I might like the big one. I might like the bulls at the end. I think that's fun. That's intense. And there's
what up?
I like the pyro in it, like from the base entertainment value. I love it, but also, I get pretty good seats at the rodeo, so I get to be up close, and man, those animals are impressive, and those cowboys, they're something else too. The amount of punishment that you guys put your bodies through to do that is, that's amazing. I don't think you really understand it from section 207 at the end. You kind of got to be down there to really.
You get to get down there and see some of it. It's a whole new experience and stuff for people.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
The intensity of watching those cowboys when they get on and get roped in, and it's just like, oh shit, this is. Yeah, it's crazy.
Sport in the world.
Two more questions here. Where can Wacey and I watch the rodeo from? Curious.
I think you guys will be right there. I would imagine if you're going to talk about it, you probably got to have pretty good seats. So
okay, sweet.
I can make some TikToks.
Some Agribition rodeo
content guy.
Hey, you guys are like rodeo insiders. This is the deal, right? Everybody just wants to hang off the back of the chutes, right? That's where everybody.
Yeah.
That is the coolest place.
That's the best. That's the best place to watch a rodeo from.
You could almost make some suites behind your chutes before your stands. You could almost do a couple there. That'd be.
Oh, cool. You know what we need? We need some guys to push the sheep for the mutton busting. So you guys.
I'll bring my Velcro gloves and rubber boots.
Okay. Second question. Follow-up question. Which day should we prepare you to ride the bull, Chris? Because we surprise, we're gonna put you on a bull that week. If you, we'll teach you. We'll teach you the way.
So I rode a steer once at Agribition a few years ago.
Really?
Me and the Minister of Agriculture.
A show steer?
Yeah, this is a true story. Yeah, and we raised money for stars, and we both got on a steer.
That's an awesome idea.
It didn't go that well, I would say.
Who won? How'd you do?
I don't know.
Is there a video of it somewhere we can post on social media?
Oh, sure. Yeah, but it's really short. You'll want to loop it. It's like
I get a TikTok.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 seconds.
Oh dear.
I could do better. I think I could do better now.
Well, if you have the right coaches, right? So we'll work on that. Okay, Chris. On the personal side of things, you're a pilot. Tell me about flying. How'd you get interested in that side of things, and when did you get your license? You just finished it in the last little while over the COVID kind of break too, right?
Yeah, so that was my 2020 project. I had started a while ago, and then it kind of fell by the wayside. I think there's a lot of pilots that have that story, is they get into it and it gets pretty intense and expensive. So anyway, when I had a little bit more time in 2020 thanks to COVID, I decided, I'm going to finish this thing. That's important that I did that. And so I spent a bunch of time finishing that up, and graduated with my private pilot's license and got a night rating, and got a little airplane here. So it's that's my hobby. What I like about flying, honestly, you guys, is that it's a hobby where you can't really afford to have your brain cluttered by a lot of stuff. So actually it's incredibly relaxing because everything else you just sort of concentrate on flying.
It's good to have those things.
Yeah.
Have you had anything sketchy happen when you're flying? I'm going down, boys. Like, this is over.
Yeah. So when I was training, they do this in when you're getting your pilot's license, you get to a point where you solo, which is essentially you're flying the airplane by yourself and your instructor's on the ground. And this is a great story. So I had something else big going on that day. And so I wasn't really focused on what I was doing. I was just trying to get some solo hours in. And I was thinking about something else, and I pulled the wrong knob in the cockpit, and the engine quit.
Oh no!
Oh no! Fuck. Oh my god!
I pulled the fuel mixture wave. I went to pull the throttle back so that I could come in for a landing, but I pulled the mixture knob and cuts the engine. It didn't outright quit. It didn't stop entirely, but it started to sputter and bang, and it kind of jolted me back, and I threw the mixture back in and jammed the throttle to the firewall, and everything kind of sprang back to life. So it probably less dangerous than it felt at the moment, but it got my attention, and that was the lesson about don't do this if you've got a bunch of shit on your mind.
I guess.
That's wild.
So did you feel did the engine shut enough to where you're going along, and then all of a sudden, whoo?
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
gravity over in a hurry when that engine starts to go. Like it doesn't take much to pull the throttle back a little bit, and you kind of start sinking under the air. So it's kind of a, landing an airplane is a controlled fall. And yeah, when you take all the power out of it, it
falls faster.
Yeah.
And so does your stomach go up into your throat.
Oh man, I'd lose
Holy.
it. Oh, I couldn't handle. I'd be dead.
Yeah, I think flying small planes is, if you're susceptible to motion sickness of any kind, it's probably not the hobby for you, because you got all kinds of weird motion going on. Like, everybody's used to a car, right? Up and down on a hill, left and right. But, in an airplane, you're kind of skidded out all the time, right? You're either turning into the wind to keep yourself going straight. So there's this whole other range of motion that you're kind of not used to, or you don't have on a daily basis.
Dang.
So you mentioned the lip sits though, where you guys started your love story there.
Yeah.
And they're actually a pretty big flying family.
Really?
Yeah, they've got some serious airplanes.
Well, didn't Glenn crash a plane recently, or his pilot crash or something? What was the story there? Something happened there.
Yeah, something like that. I think you'll have to ask him. I think it's a big subject.
Okay.
Pilots
I don't know the whole story.
When they bounce one off the runway.
Okay, I'll leave it for now. I'll ask
Sounds
him
like something Glenn would do.
Oh, Lee, what are you expecting out of us that week? What should be like? Should we put a pool on when Wacey misses a show because he's too hungover, or should we? No,
I will not.
Professional.
I'm a professional.
How many?
Come on.
How many?
I'm a professional. It's not my first Agribition, man. I used to party all night, make it to my trade show booth, and work there all damn day.
That's
and
the
then
kind of
party
work
again.
ethic that makes Agribition tick.
There you go.
I want you guys to keep tally of your paralyzer totals. I want to see how many of those are directly attributable.
Okay. I can do that. I bet you. I drink. How many days?
4 days of
4 days. I bet you I can hit like. I bet you I can drink more than.
You're gonna have
30.
You're gonna have You're gonna have bad time with your guts.
Okay, give me over 20. I'll give you over 25.
Like
over 25.
12 hours.
That's my odds.
Actually not many. I think
that's my odds.
That's a lot.
That's my odds.
you can do better.
If I win, you guys both got to give me. If I do over 25, you guys both got to give me $1,000.
I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying it's a horrible idea.
Oh, and don't. Yeah. So
whatever.
What I need out of you guys
Good
is just
content.
to be yourselves, because I think it's fun, obviously, and you're funny. But stay out of the office, okay?
Okay, we'll do that. Only unless invited.
Promise.
Right.
Unless by office you mean El Dorado's.
Oh, closed down. But there's a new one. There's a new country bar in that same spot, so you're in good shape.
Yeah. Where does Wacey need to go that week? Like I know the Pocket Dog stand. There's the Ukrainian one too, where with the cabbage rolls and the pierogies and the sausage. I'll be hitting that one up. Yeah, I'll be up there
Straight
too.
by the Pocket Dog's so good. Oh, so good.
What else?
We got.
It's going out the window for Agribition week.
Oh heck yeah,
that's really good.
If I'm looking to find love at Agribition, where's my best place to find it?
Anywhere after midnight.
Oh, really? Is there a sanctioned place where this happens? Like a on site? Bud Light.
It used to be the
Bud Light loading
He
chute.
doesn't know this stuff. No, you gotta ask.
You should know.
Than me.
As the CEO, you should know.
Wacey, we'll have a report
You're pretty
afterwards,
cool, man.
or maybe a daily report. We'll see. Oh dear.
Okay.
There's a lot of people
did not find love.
Who got married. Also, maybe started their road to being unmarried at Agribition too. So.
Oh dear. Oh. Well, when you get people together in large settings, stuff happens. So
maybe I'll find love at the loading chute.
You might get loaded at the loading chute. We'll see
what
what happens. Hope you don't get loaded up after being at the loading chute.
There's a greater.
Hey, you guys
there's a greater chance of that.
Oh yeah,
me getting loaded.
Well, yeah. I think you just got to make friends with some barrel racers and look after their horses for the week.
Some horse girls.
If you've seen some of my TikToks lately, I've been pretty hard on the horse girl community.
You have some amends to make. That.
You might have to. Wacey, you guys, the last question. We'll wrap it up with Chris.
Last question, Chris. The one we ask all of our friends who come on the show. What is your definition of cowboy shit?
Definition of cowboy shit. Definition. I would, you know what? It's not any one thing. It's a collection of values. It's a personality trait. I don't think you have to be, there's no bar for cowboy shit. It is, it's good times. It's hard work. It's doing what you say you're going to do, and being the life of the party when someone needs some fun. That's what I'd say.
Another good answer, man. You're killing it.
That's what it means to me anyway.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I love. That's like one of my favorite things about the show is like hearing everybody's kind of spin on what it means to them.
It's a good question to spring on people because nobody's expecting it.
One more thing too. I guess nobody else listens to the show. I guess to know that it's coming. Everybody.
We ask everybody.
Just giving you a hard time. 50th anniversary though. We didn't really touch on that much. What's special for the 50th?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. It's half century of Agribition, something definitely to celebrate. The big thing we're doing is the first day of the show is free for everyone. We're gonna shut down the gate admission. We're gonna feed everyone a pancake breakfast for free, and you'll see different 50th stuff, different parts of the celebration through the week. So we're not gonna let it go unmarked. But the big thing is opening day. Let's get as many of our friends and our family and come celebrate Agribition and get back together again too. Not only are we celebrating 50 years of Agribition, but honestly, we're celebrating. Yes. So
gather
in the event business, it's pretty emotional to tell you the truth, guys. This is.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to my first concert on Friday, and I'm so fired up to go to some live music again.
100%. Canadian Western Agribition. That free day starts Monday, November 22nd, runs all the way to Saturday, November 27th, the Maple Leaf Circuit Finals, Wednesday the 24th, to finishing up Saturday night. You can check us out, Agribition Live, noon daily from Wednesday to Saturday, and Cowboy Shit Live, starting 9 p.m. right after the rodeo. Thanks for having us, Chris. Get your information, tickets, full schedule, everything at agribition.com. Thanks for Chris. Thanks for doing this, eh? This has been a lot of fun.
You bet, guys. Thanks for having me.
Shine, honey, I got the wheels. It's time to party, get a little rowdy, tear up somebody's feel. Gonna pile up some wood so we can burn it down and fill up the jug. Thanks again to Chris Lane for joining us in episode 102. It's going to be a heck of a fun time at Agribition this year, Wace. I'm pumped.
Agribition, man. I'm so stoked to head back there. Like I mentioned talking to Chris, Agribition has a special place in my heart. So it's going to be fun to get back there and see some old friends and do what we do. It'll be cool to share that. Yeah, something new for us. Yeah, it's good stuff. So
I'm excited.
Me too, brother.
Moving on, our next show is going to be at Canadian Finals Rodeo, CFR Red Deer. We're going to do a live version of Cowboy Shit as well. Going to do some work on the buckle presentations as well with our friend Doug Young. Going to be a fun week in
Man, I'm stoked that he got the CFR. That's so
me
cool.
too.
Man, I love Doug. He's the man.
I think I was almost more pumped when he got Calgary because it was like a little more.
I was on his birthday.
Last minute on his birthday was pretty special.
And he absolutely crushed that day too. That was Doug at his best. It was so good.
Was so cool.
I thought it was awesome to see the group who did the Calgary this year. I thought that was great. And I mean, I'm a super fan of Doug as well. Doug. I love the guy. I thought the whole group right there. I thought they did great. And it's almost some similar group headed to CFR, right?
Yeah. I think just no entertainer though.
Right. Yeah. No, though they're
taking the entertainment out of the CFR. Just rodeo.
It's fun.
Rodeo's entertainment.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around.
Yeah. No. Well, he's still. I'm sure he's still going to be there. The clown of the year, clown of Canada.
That's Dennis.
Dennis Halstead.
Any of the rodeo clown.
I would imagine he'd be there. I don't know. He might be on strike. Might not be there. I'm not sure.
I think I'm going to be Dennis. I think I'm going to be Dennis Halstead for Halloween.
I'm surprised Dennis still won Entertainer of the Year after attending the Bowden lockdown rodeo. I thought there might be a little red flag on the old rodeo clown.
Who else was there? Who else was there to Like who else?
I don't know.
Like not trying to say just
who
anyways.
else was? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
the criteria.
moving on.
Anyways, moving on. CFR, we're gonna be there. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
We're
Come
fired
check us
up
out.
for it. Yeah, come say
3:30
hi.
p.m. daily.
Man, we're taking cowboy shit on the road here in the next couple months.
We are. It's final season, man. We're going
Hashtag.
bolo ties and sport coats, man.
Bolo ties and sports coats. That's the theme of the fall.
Right? That's the fall.
I love it.
That's the fall.
We also
so we got merch on the line too.
Got some new merch, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
You and Storm killed it on the design of the hats and everything as per usual. The new shirts.
Beautiful.
These.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we got lots of cool stuff. We got coffee, cowboy shit coffee. It's live
from your uncle.
Brewed by my uncle. We're not brewed.
Is it
roasted
ethically
by my
sourced?
uncle.
Are the beans ethically sourced?
I saw Kobe's messages. I was gonna cuss them out.
Well, I don't know. I think he was mostly joking, but not sure.
You fucking bitch, Kobe. Calling you out, bro.
Check it all though. Check it all
out. That's my uncle.
Cowboyshit.ca. Get yourself some new merch in numerous stores now. What else, Brinson?
Or the basement, whichever one you want to do.
Or the basement.
Yeah, there's a lot of merch in the basement. Yeah, come by the house. Come have a ranch water and
that's it. Yeah, we got lots of cool stuff happening this fall. We're excited to share some new stuff with us. Check us out on the social medias. Yeah, Cowboy Shit Official, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all this.
Get out to the events. Come see Brinson and I at the PBRs.
Oh yeah, or just come visit. Come hang out with us.
Come to HQ. Come hang out. We got
Brinson's here for 5 weeks.
We've got what do we got? We talked about the schedule a little bit, but PBR Canada, Calgary, Alberta on the Canada Cup Series, October 23rd, Saturday night. Then we go to Saskatoon on the 29th and 30th. Then we move over.
Have a little Halloween party afterwards.
The
PBR on Saturday night.
You want to come with us to Saskatoon, and we'll party at the branch on Saturday night? You want to just come along with us?
When are you guys leaving?
We got to leave Thursday, but if you want to just fly over, we'll drive you back with us Sunday.
I'll figure it out. I'd like to come to Saskatoon.
Yeah, we'll
always amazing.
I'd like to go see my brother. My brother's going. I'd like to go hang out with him.
Yeah, come and see us if you want. Come along with us even if you want.
Heck yeah! After Saskatoon,
I kind of want to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go up to Yorkton. You're headed to CFR.
Yeah. You're gonna come back because you're coming to the hockey game with Wacey.
Oh right,
it's my birthday, man. Yes. We're hanging out with you on your birthday,
dude. I have already told everybody about it. It's my first ever hockey game.
Yeah,
I've only watched the Goon, so I think I know pretty much all about.
Man, you're gonna love the Dome. It's so fun, dude.
You guys get some sit beers. The Cowboy Shit season tickets.
We'll go to the casino.
I'm gonna dress.
We're going to the casino tomorrow too. Waste. Remember that? You still
going to the casino tomorrow. What's that?
You can be able to handle that still.
The casino? Oh yeah.
You gotta sleep it off here first. And
I'm actually feeling I'm feeling a lot better than I was this morning, boys. I had a little nap ski and just took a turkey. I laid on my couch and just watched TV all day and
good.
Rotted. It was good.
Together. Yeah, we then Yorkton. Yeah, so CFR, Yorkton, and then we finish off the finals in Edmonton at Rogers Place on the 12th and 13th of November.
Damn, Connor McDavid's house.
I'm so excited for Edmonton.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for the whole fall, but
I'm excited for PBR finals, and I love Saskatoon, but I'm just excited for Edmonton and the building and the town and the party and the whole lot.
Saskatoon or Edmonton's is a fun time during that kind of stuff. So
we've also got the Ty Posabon Sportsman's Dinner on November 11th on Thursday night before the finals. Kind of a pre-welcome party for all the contestants. Gonna be a fun night too at the River Cree. So yeah, gonna be a great time. We also, man, I got to talk CFR some more too. How about the standings this year and all the top bronc riders? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The top 6 went to 8 rodeos or less. Leighton Green made the CFR on 3 rodeos this year.
That's wild. That's the winners win, man. Winners win.
That's true. Show up, do your job, get paid.
Cool, man.
Here's my fees. Where's my buckle?
Yeah, boy.
Do we have any fun stories to tell before the end of the show, Wacey? Anything you want to admit to the fans, or should we just move along?
Nothing out of the ordinary. Same old.
All right. Okay.
Head hurts a little bit. That's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just tired. I gotta go to bed.
Cool, man. Well, okay. So don't forget promo code BOOTS PBR Canada. Pendleton Whiskey Classic Calgary, Alberta. Use your promo code. Get some tickets.
PBR
Circle
Canada.
4 Beverage Shop. Yes,
PBRCanada.com or Ticketmaster. Get your tickets. Calgary. See us.
And we also want to thank Circle 4 Beverage Company, our homies, Ranch Water and Sweetwater. You guys are awesome. Check them out, ranchwater.com, circle4ranchwater.com. Right?
Circle4beveragecompany.com. Write it down.
Right.
Circle4beverages.com, ranchwater.ca.
Okay. Yeah.
Delicious.
That's the
I'm
one.
gonna finish
And finally, our friends at Manscaped get 20% off and free shipping worldwide with code HugeBush at manscaped.com. That's 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com with code HugeBush. Unlock your confidence. Always use the right tools for the job. And that's Manscaped, baby.
Thanks to our editor, Sean Morton, my partner, Crime Storm Defoe, graphics, merchandise, order packing and postage and shipping and social media, and Wacey on the TikToks, my co-host, always my friend. Thanks to Prince and James Harris for joining us this week. We'll see y'all next time.
Party on.
Stay frosty,
on, boys.
Bye-bye.
You ready, boys? Yes, sir. Tell them about it, old son.
Now the Cowgirls boys, they're the ones who know the real deal from old Ricky Rodeo. Cause let me tell you fellas, till they see you ride, they'll never give you more than a 4, maybe 5. Now not all cowboys hail from a Lone Star State, California, Alaska to Canada, eh? I even know a few hippies, long hair and tattoos. There sure are some tough motherfucking blues.